And we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Mary Sloan here with another episode of Inspirational Influencer News, People Making a Difference. And this afternoon, my guest is Sophie Zollman, who is your business's new best friend. And I've just been chatting with her, and I'm sure you'll want to hear all the things she can do for your business. She's a certified online business manager, a social media manager, and customer acquisition specialist who's been providing next level business support services to coaches, consultants, and visionary entrepreneurs for over 20 years. She's a skilled chaos coordinator. I really want to know about that because, man, I can get myself into a lot of chaos. With a passion for organization and uses her talents to give business owners back their time so they're free to focus on scaling their business and making more money. That's always good. She loves creating the strategies and systems that empower businesses to do more. When she's not helping business owners build their empire, she's spending time with her husband, kids, and adorable grandson. Oh, I know the adorable grandchildren. Preferably at the beach. She's a coffee addict, an 80s rock aficionado, and a proud muggle with a passion for all things Harry Potter. Oh, gotta love that. She's still waiting for her invitation from Hogwarts to arrive. But until that day, she'll continue to use her magic to take her business and your business to the very next level. So thanks a lot for being here. And tell me, what is it that got you into the business and what has kind of inspired you to keep going?
Well, the need to be able to generate income for my family and not have it all go to daycare. Because back in the day when I started working in the online world 20 plus years ago, I had two small children who would have needed to be in daycare while I worked a job. And, even with a college degree, I couldn't get a job worthwhile that paid more than daycare. So I jumped into the online world as a freelancer, looking for like virtual customer service, virtual admin, those different kinds of jobs that are out there. And I landed a remote job as a customer service person for a gentleman in New York who sold, he was in e-commerce, and I was with him for almost 4 years, and I ended up managing his business and was managing his $500,000 business for $12 an hour. That's all the man would pay me. Yeah. Needless to say, I was burned out, fried, and said, enough's enough. And we were in a position where I could take off. So I quit and I became a stay-at-home mom for a whole 8 months. And then the house started falling apart. The stove quit working. The dishwasher quit working. We got termites, it's like, so all our extra money went to fixing all that stuff. So I had to go back to work. But this time I was like, I am not doing e-commerce. I'm going to do something different. So I got into transcription and I was transcribing the teleseminars of old before Zoom was a thing. And that's where I met all those amazing coaches and consultants and online visionaries that I now work for. And I was like, I love these people. I want to work for these people. So I relaunched myself as a virtual assistant, full well knowing my value, what to charge, what the going rate was, and got on social media and did hardcore networking for 6 months until a bunch of VAs found me and wanted to subcontract work to me. And that's when my business was born. Sophie Zoe LLC was born, and it has evolved and grown and changed, completely imploded and rebuilt and grown into the amazing thing that it is today in those 12 and a half years.
That's quite the story. And, especially kind of going from doing what we now push a button and go to otter.ai. I mean, where AI is coming to us and what we can do now with AI. Amazing, amazing. And so good to know that you have found your stride, and now it's just, okay, how high can I go and how many people can I take with me, which is fabulous.
Absolutely. Yes, that is the goal. I'm climbing to the seven figures, and I'm taking my team with me. I'm taking my clients there, taking them to their seven figures and beyond. It has become just a major, incredible business and team and clients. And I love what I do. I love who I serve. And I love that I can do it for more than just my clients. I can do it for my team and for other people in my world who know what to do, like I, or know how to do what I do, so that I'm not alone trying to do it all myself. And I can practice what I preach about delegation and getting anything you don't need to be doing off your plate. It's like, I walk my talk because I have a whole team of people. My team of people help me as much as they help my clients. It's not just, they're not just here to serve my clients. They work for me too. And that's how I know how good they are and how dependable they are, because they've all worked with me first. And now they work for my clients too. And it's just this big, happy family, so to speak.
That's awesome. To have proven people like that around you is always just so special, because otherwise you're out there crying people on for the first time. Sometimes good news, often not quite so good news. I think that maybe it's too high expectations, or we think they'll do. I really am guilty of that. I listen for people to be amazing, and then they're just kind of okay. And it's like, oh, it's so disappointing. But tell me, who are your favorite clients? Who are the people that you serve the best?
Well, in a very short, succinct sentence, and I say this lovingly, we work well with the woo-woo. We love to work with the spiritual, transformative mindset, life coaches, business owners, those people that want to help have an impact on the people they serve, but in the world as well, because they're trying to do more than just teach people how to run a successful business. They're also teaching them how to be the best people they can be, to serve others and to do the things that make an impact in our world in many different ways. And we really love working with them and getting them to grow their businesses in exponential ways, because the more they grow, the more impact they can have, which is one of their main focuses. Yes, they love the money, but they are really about the impact that they can help people, as well as businesses.
Well, it's always important to keep in mind that money magnifies impact. So it's not a bad thing to realize that money is energy too. So if you're putting a lot of energy out into the world, keep attracting that money, because it can definitely flow around and help a lot more people.
Absolutely. Agree 100%.
So have you got some great stories you'd like to share with us about what some of your clients are up to, or you've been able to do for them?
Well, our biggest thing is getting people organized and systematized and getting them out there with their message and their knowledge and their expertise, so that they can attract clients and grow the business. We help them create new programs, new services, membership sites, whatever it is that will get them to that next level. But we also can talk them through the strategy, the management, the planning, because a lot of times, especially the spiritual, transformative, visionary entrepreneur, they're a creative, and they have this vision and they can see it, but they can't chunk it down into the things it will take, the actions, the programs, the whatevers that will take it, get it out in the world, sell and make money, and allow them to do their passion, and work in their zone of genius. So, our favorite thing is to help them get organized, get systematized, to market, to sell, to get themselves out there, to be able to do what they are here to do. And, we do that through business management, through virtual assistants, through marketing, through operations, technology, automations, marketing funnels, all those different things. And, the idea is to take them from wherever they are, which where we're at now is usually they're at six figures and they want to go to seven and beyond. And a lot of times it's because they are still doing too much of the work themselves. They might have a virtual assistant. They might even have a social media manager, but that's all they really have. They're still planning, strategizing, tasking, managing, all those different things. When you're ready to hit the higher levels of 6 and up 10 to 7 figures, the best thing you can do for yourself and your business is a team, a full team of people that are going to support you in every single way. The strategy and planning, the management, the doing, the quality assurance, and all those things that go on behind the scenes so that you can focus on your genius, delivering your services or your products, creating new revenue streams that we can help you build and manage and monetize and all of those things. Because in the end, the only way you're going to hit that 7-figure goal and not do it killing yourself is by having a full team supporting you. And, in my world, in my business, the great thing about us is you get a whole team in one place. You don't even have to go, okay, I need to hire a manager and a marketing person and a this and the that. You come to us and we've got it all in one place. So it really makes it convenient and easy to build your team sooner rather than later. But on the other side of that, you don't have to get rid of anybody you might have. We can incorporate your team into all of this, and that's where we take over the management of those people. So your people get to stay. It's not like we come in and replace anybody, but we fill the gaps. We do the management and the planning and all of those things so that you can focus on what you need to focus on. And one of the other big things we are so, we want to do for our clients is allow them to take time off, real time off, go on vacation, do other things to be fully unplugged from the business, knowing that we're taking care of it while they're gone. So that as long as we can, reschedule client calls or things like that for when they come back, the rest of the business, the rest of the things that go on in the day-to-day are going to continue without them, and they can really go have fun and enjoy themselves. It's the relief of getting all that off their plate and giving them the time and space to do what they want to do and to take time off. And you have to have a team to be able to do that. And whether you build that one by one, or you find a company like mine that has an all-in-one team in one place, the key is build a team and rely on them to do the work and give them the freedom to do the work. Don't micromanage. Don't cling too tightly to the things, the tasks, the work. Be willing to let go and trust, and it will be such an amazing experience no matter where you end up with that team and who you end up hiring.
That's such a gift, because for people that become self-employed, what they forget is that that's sort of 52 weeks of the year. And that, there isn't anybody when you're in charge and it's a relatively small business. There's nobody who's going to say, oh, well, go take 3 weeks off. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Who's the I'll take care of it? So I'm coming to you. You'll take care of it. That sounds like my kind of deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will take care of it, and we will be, and we bring you and your people in and your business in, and we embrace it, and we treat it like it's our own, and we treat it like, kind of like family to a certain extent, but definitely not a dysfunctional, unhappy family. We try to make it a really good, positive, connected, resonation kind of a thing. And that's one reason why we work with the woo-woo so well, is I come from a space of being in that spiritual zone, from where I, in my life and my, my philosophies and things are a spiritual based philosophy. I, work with the universe and the laws and, manifestation and all those things. And I believe in the spirit, that there is more to business than business. And I come from that place, and, I trust I use my intuition a lot. I trust in, the things that come from above, whether you call that God, spirit, the universe, whatever, that's all important. Yes, you need a business plan. Yes, you need, marketing, and yes, you need the services and the products and the whatever, but there is still way more to it than just the business side of things. And we do all of that, and we can work with the people who want to have all of that involved in their business and their life too.
Well, I noticed as I was reading what you do, one of the things that you do, which I think is great, is the whole social management thing. And I'm sure that that would be, as I'm focusing more and more on branding for people, because people forget to brand themselves and then they don't sound enough unique, and they can't charge the kind of money that they should be charging. And really, they are unique if somebody would just help them get it all out there and get it all organized. And social media can be a big way that you can help do that. So knowing that you take that on, I bet that's really helpful for your clients.
It really is. And so many of our clients come to us for the marketing side of things, and it's inclusive of like Facebook ads and social media and blogs and newsletters and websites and branding. And even if they have a brand and they have a website, there still is maintaining it, continuing to communicate and put yourself out there branded everywhere, because having a website that looks one way and having social media that looks another way, and if you also have a podcast and it looks another way, it's very disconnected and people don't see the connection, and they get mixed messages and they're like, I'm confused, so I'm going to go somewhere else who's not confusing me. So it's really important that wherever you are, whether it's social media, YouTube, podcast, all of the different ways that you can online market your business, it has to be consistently branded and messaged so that you make sense and everything gels together when people are finding you in different places, because that is both the joy and the nightmare that is the online world. Is people are going to look you up and, practically stalk you before they're going to hire you. And, they want to see what you're doing on Facebook, what you're doing on your podcast, what your website looks like, and they may sign up for your freebie to see what that looks like. And then they want to see what your newsletters are like and your blogs. And if you're crazy all over the place with all kinds of jumbled messaging, they're going to be like, oh yeah, no, and run away. So it's very important to be branded, to know your message, to know your differentiation factors, your X factor, whatever you want to call it, and really speak to it. And sometimes it's hard for someone to articulate that. And that's why, I have a copywriter who can help us flesh that out and help you articulate it, and then articulate it for you and create your content, your copy, all the different things, so that it's much easier for you to put yourself out there in the different formats online, because you've got a support team that can do all that.
That's awesome. That's, because boy, is that important. I mean, like you said, there's so many people out there with different messages all over the place. And it's like, who are they? What do they do? Are you sure? Are they sure?
No, and you're so true. And no matter how many people are out there like me and you saying, you've got a brand, you've got to know your audience, you've got to know what to say to them, and you're going to know what makes you unique and different from everybody else. Because especially in the coaching world, I mean, when was it, in the early 2000s, I think it was, the coaching world blew up and became this huge thing to do. And then the pandemic hit and it became an even bigger thing to do because everybody had to stay home and figure out how to make money. And it's just like, there are so many out there. If you don't differentiate yourself with a very definitive brand and look and feel and message, you're going to get lost in the sea of everybody out there.
That's right. And it's so important that you really get that right almost before you get online, because afterwards it can be real confusing, like, oh, this is what she was doing then. And this is, oh, that's interesting. And oh, that doesn't seem like the same person.
Well, yeah, there is. Yeah, definitely. But if you happen to have been online, like my LinkedIn account where we're at live today, it's like, it was started back in the day when I had jobs and, I was getting jobs. And then I started, I got into the online world and started a business. So it did have to change. But, it didn't make sense to kill that one and start a whole new one. And that's what's really key in your marketing and whatnot, is if you are going to change what you're doing. Like I rebranded completely in Q4 of last year. And that was another change I had to make, but I didn't start all my social media platforms all over again. Heck no. But I just, you do it and then you launch it. I mean, it's just like launching a service or a product. you get to announce to the world, look what I'm doing now. So here's who we are. Here's what we're doing now. And then you keep putting that out there. And then everybody's like, oh yeah, cool. She's got a new gig going on. That's great. I love it, kind of a thing. And
Yeah,
then you
and that's for me on it. Yeah. And it's true. And I mean, while you want some consistency, it's okay to be completely brand new all over again, because that's kind of how we are in this day and age, and after all, we have to change because platforms change. They don't stay the same. Some come, some go. Some will help you do this today, and tomorrow, well, maybe not so much. And then all of a sudden you wonder with the platform. I mean, I look at Twitter. Who's Twitter now?
Yeah, Twitter is an entity all of its own now. It's kind of hard to. It's like, do I want to be on there? Do I not want to be on there? And what about this? And what about that? There's so many different platforms, new ones coming out all the time, and that, change is inevitable. Change in the online technologies, change in yourself. Because that's the other thing. We as people evolve and grow and change. And sometimes what we're doing now is not what we want to do 5 years from now. And we get there 5 years from now and we're like, you know what, that was really fun. That was really cool, but I'm ready for something different because I'm feeling called to do something else instead. And that's okay. Just be sure you change your brand and your messaging and everything to go with it, and then make a big hoopla announcement and launch of it, and you'll be good.
Yeah. And I think it's letting people know that you've changed and you're now going this direction, as opposed to letting them wonder, oh, well, is she coming back to here or there, or what's she doing tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely make a definitive launch out of it, because that way they do know, oh, because, and I still am using some of my old branded content, because I put it in a queue that automatically posts, and it's like, it's still good content. It has my old logo on it. Okay. But it's just a logo. Everything else is my brand. And if my social post is good enough, you're not paying attention to the little logo in the corner. You're paying attention to what it says and maybe the image itself. And you're clicking that link to go read more. If it's a blog post, whatever it is, you can still, as long as you didn't overly brand the post, you can still repurpose your old post like I'm doing, because the difference in a logo is not bad, but the messaging is still, and what we do and what those things say, because a lot of it is from my podcast, which was all a part of me learning and growing and developing into who I am. So you get to see it. You still get to see me. I'm doing the same thing. I just look a little different now, and it looks a little different now. But, ultimately, if you see, a photo on my social media that has the old logo, I'm okay with that, because it's just a logo. In that case, it's just a logo. Everything else about me is rebranded. The platform is rebranded. The new posts are all branded. So for the old logo to pop up here and here now and again is not such a big deal, because it's more, but as long as the content of the post itself is still relevant and evergreen and current to what you're doing, you can still do that. It doesn't all go to waste and you have to go, oh, well, I have to delete all my old social media posts that I'm repurposing because they have the old logo on it. Not necessarily.
Maybe it's a task for somebody on your team. Hey, go through my post and put a new logo on.
That can be done. Yes, it can. But I don't know if it's really where you want to spend your money when it comes to hiring a team of people to help you out.
Anyway, this has been fantastic. And sadly enough, our time together is going away. So I really want you to tell people how they can get hold of you, because some of them, I'm sure, are going to go, oh God, she sounds like my kind of person. How can I get her to help me?
Well, there is my website, sophiezo.com, SOPHIEZ as in zebra, O.com. There is my podcast, Building Your Empire with Sophie Zo. It's on all the podcast platforms, Apple, Google, Amazon, the whole 9 yards. You can find it just about everywhere. And then, of course, I'm on just about every social platform out there too. I'm either Sophie Zo or the Sophie Zoe. And here on LinkedIn, I'm Sophia Zollman. I'm my full name, but those are the places to find me, to learn more, to see what we do, because like I said, my team does the work for me too. So when you're seeing my blogs, my newsletters, all that content I'm putting out there, that is all done by my team. And you can see how well they know me. And I mean, when my copywriter writes stuff for me, you don't know it's not me, because she's got me. She understands me and knows me so well. You know, she could, if she could get on a sales call and pretend to be me, she'd be pretty close to it, but we don't go that far.
Maybe she's replaced you. Be careful out there, you know?
No, she has no desire to do what I do. She loves her copywriting, and that's it.
Well, it's good to have people who know their lane, right?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Anyway, I really appreciate your time. This was a great deal of fun, and I'm sure our listeners will have a lot to think about, and hopefully people that can reach out to you and ask about what you can do for them, and we'll keep seeing you at the top.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much. It was really great fun to be here. I appreciate having the opportunity to be on your live stream.
Yeah, inspirational influencer news, people making a difference. And this is a lady who's making a difference. Thanks, everybody.